Hello, welcome to Engineering Tuitions. So today in this session, we are going to discuss about communication system, its use and one of its type. Before moving towards today's discussion, just see a quick overview of the topics that we will cover in the upcoming sessions of this subject. The topics we will cover in this subject are divided into three parts. Earlier to these parts, we will go through the basics of communication system. Now first part is analog communication, in which we will discuss the topic amplitude modulation, DSB-SC, SSB-SC, frequency modulation, phase modulation, receiver and its two types, tunable radio frequency receiver and super heterodyne receiver. Second part is digital communication, in which we will discuss the topic baseband modulation, its type, bandpass modulation, its type and information theory. Now third part, that is mathematical tool, in which we will discuss the topic random variable and random process. But in today's discussion, we will only discuss about basics of communication system and amplitude modulation. So without doing any further delay, let's get started with today's session. So before starting the basics of communication, firstly we will understand what is communication and why it is needed. Communication is simply the exchange of thought. If the person is present nearer to him, then we can communicate to him directly. But sometimes the person to whom we would like to exchange our thoughts is at a huge distance. So we require a system that creates a medium between both the peoples, and that system is called a communication system. The main objective of a communication system is to transfer the information signal from source to destination by enabling them the electronic exchange of data and information. The basics of communication. In this, suppose an audio source is continuously generating the information in the form of a non-electrical signal, which is now given as an input to the transducer, which converts it into an electrical signal of frequency 3 kHz. This signal is now fed to the modulator, which gives an electrical signal of frequency 3 MHz at the output, which is transmitted further. Now this 3 MHz signal is received by the receiving antenna, which is demodulated to 3 kHz frequency by the demodulator and then directly given as an output by the speaker. Now what is this modulation? Modulation is a technique in which one of the characteristics is that amplitude, frequency or phase of the carrier signal is varied with respect to the instantaneous value of the message signal. It is a scheme by which a baseband signal is converted into a bandpass signal. Modulation is needed for multiplexing. This will be understood when we will study TDM and FDM in the upcoming session to convert low frequency signal to high frequency signal to reduce antenna height. This is the main reason for which we are using modulation. As you can see in this example, St is equals to lambda by 4 is the expression for the effective height of the transmitting antenna. So if we increase the frequency, then wavelength decreases, which directly decreases the height of the transmitting antenna. Now let us see this example. When we are using signal of frequency 3 kHz, then lambda becomes 100 km and effective height of the transmitting antenna becomes 25 km, which is not practically feasible to implement. Instead of this, if we are using frequency of 3 MHz, then lambda becomes 100 meter and height of the transmitting antenna will become 25 meter. As you can see, the height of the transmitting antenna is decreased by 1000 times, which is practically feasible. Now analog communication, in which today we will only discuss amplitude modulation. So in amplitude modulation, the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied with respect to the instantaneous amplitude of the message signal. Now this is the information signal which contains the information which is to be transmitted, and this is the carrier signal whose amplitude is to be varied with respect to the instantaneous amplitude of the message signal, and this is the generated AM signal, in which you can see the amplitude of the carrier is varying with respect to the instantaneous amplitude of the message signal. Now block diagram of AM, in which message signal and carrier signal is fed to the modulator and which provides AM at the end. This AM block working is discussed a little bit later in this video in the AM detectors. Now basic equation of AM, that is SAMT is equal to AC 1 plus KAMT cos 2 pi FCT. Here this Ka is the amplitude sensitivity, which is the change in the amplitude of carrier signal corresponding to the change in 1 volt of the amplitude of the message signal. Now rewriting the above equation, we get SAMT is equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT, that is carrier, plus KAMT into AC cos 2 pi FCT. This AC cos 2 pi FCT is nothing but again a carrier. So putting AC cos 2 pi FCT as CT and again rewriting this equation, we get SAMT is equal to CT plus KAMT into CT. The CT is the carrier plus the second portion, that is KAMT into CT, is the modulated signal. Here you can also see this, the carrier is also transmitting with the modulated signal. Hence, there is a wastage of power in transmitting carrier signal, but it will provide one advantage, is that the demodulation becomes simple and cheap. By taking CT common, we get SAMT is equal to 1 plus KAMT into CT, and this one is nothing but a DC. So you can remember this or the previous one. Now spectrum for the message signal will look like this. Now the amplitude modulation spectrum after the application of modulation property of the Fourier transform will look like this. Now single tone AM. Till now we have only discussed about generalized AM. In that part we do not discuss about any frequency component in the message signal. Single tone AM is the one in which message signal consisting of single frequency component. Like here, let MT is equals to AM cos 2 by FMT, whose spectrum will look like this, and CT is equals to AC cos 2 by FCT, the carrier, whose spectrum will look like this. Now applying the basic equation of AM, that is SAMT is equals to AC 1 plus KAMT into cos 2 pi FCT. Putting this value of MT in this equation, we get AC into 1 plus KAM cos 2 pi FMT into cos 2 pi FCT. This KAM is nothing but a modulation index mu, which is up to how much extent a signal can be modulated. So putting KAM as mu, we get the equation SAMT is equal to AC 1 plus mu cos 2 pi FMT into cos 2 pi FCT. After further simplifying this equation, we get AC cos 2 pi FCT is the carrier plus mu cos 2 pi FCT into cos 2 pi FMT, which becomes the formula of twice of cos A cos B. So rewriting this equation, we get the final expression for the single tone AM like SAMT is equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT, that is carrier, plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FMT, that is the lower sideband, plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FMT, that is the upper sideband. Now spectrum for AM, in which you can see that FC is the carrier and it's surrounded by FC minus FM at its left, which is the lower sideband, and at right FC plus FM, which is the upper sideband. So now bandwidth of single tone AM can be calculated by subtracting the lowest positive frequency from the highest positive frequency, like bandwidth is equals to Fc plus Fm minus of Fc minus Fm. Now we get the bandwidth for the single tone EM, that is bandwidth is equals to twice of Fm. Now there is a node in which the variation in the modulation for the value of mu from 0 to mu greater than 1 is shown. If mu is equal to 0, then it will be the case of no modulation. If mu is less than 1, then this is the case of under modulation. If mu is equals to 1, then this is the case of critical modulation. If mu is greater than 1, then this is the case of over modulation. Now total power in an AM signal can be calculated in a very simple way, that here we are discussing about how to transmit a signal. So what we are transmitting here? We are transmitting the AM signal. So we calculate the power of transmitted AM signal. So in the AM signal, as I have already told you, we are transmitting the carrier, lower sideband and the upper sideband. So the total power is the sum of carrier power plus lower sideband power plus upper sideband power. So PC is equals to AC square by 2R watt and PLSB is equals to AC square mu square by 8R watt and PUSB is equals to AC square mu square by 8R watt. Now the sideband power, which is the sum of upper sideband and the lower sideband power. Now putting this value of the sideband power and the carrier power in the total power, we get PT is equals to AC square by 2R plus AC mu square by 2R. Taking AC square by 2R common, we get AC square by 2R into 1 plus mu square by 2, and this AC square by 2R is nothing but the carrier power, that is PC. So putting AC square by 2R as PC, we get the final expression for the power of single tone AM, that is PT is equals to PC 1 plus mu square by 2. Now expression for the efficiency, which is the ratio of useful power to the total power. So efficiency is equals to the total sideband power, that is the useful power in an AM which contains the message, upon the total power is equal to PC mu square by 2 upon PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. After simplifying this, we get the final expression for the efficiency of the single tone EM, that is efficiency is equal to mu square upon 2 plus mu square. Now expression for voltage of the transmitted signal. As we know the relationship between power and the voltage, that is P is equals to V square by R. So PT is equals to VT square by R and PC is equals to VC square by R. Putting these value of PT and PC in the expression of power, that is PT is equals to PC 1 plus mu square by 2, we get VT square by R is equals to VC square by R into 1 plus mu square by 2. So after simplifying this equation, we get the final expression of the voltage, that is VT is equals to VC under root 1 plus mu square by 2. Now multi-tone AM. In multi-tone AM, the message component consisting of more than one frequency component. But here we are considering that our message signal is consisting of only two frequency component. That is like AM1 cos 2 pi FM1t plus AM2 cos 2 pi FM2t. Here amplitude of the first message component is greater than the amplitude of the second message component, and the frequency of the first message component is less than the frequency of the second message component. Now the spectrum for this message component will look like this. Now putting this value of MT in the basic equation of AM, we get SAMT is equal to AC 1 plus KAAM, which will become the modulation index of the message component 1 mu1 into cos 2 pi FM1t plus KAM2, which becomes the modulation index of the second message component into cos 2 pi FM2t whole multiplied by cos 2 pi fct. Here mu1 is greater than mu2 as am1 is greater than am2. So putting k am1 and k am2 as mu1 and mu2, we get the equation SAMT is equal to AC into 1 plus mu1 cos 2 pi fm1t plus mu2 cos 2 pi fm2t whole multiplied by cos 2 pi fct. On simplifying this equation, we get AC cos 2 pi fct plus mu1 cos 2 pi fm1t into cos 2 pi fct, which becomes the formula of twice of cos A cos B, plus mu2 cos 2 pi fm2t into cos 2 pi fct, which again becomes the formula of twice of cos A cos B. On simplifying this, we get the final expression for the multitone EM, that is SAMT is equal to AC cos 2 pi fct, that is the carrier, plus AC mu1 by 2 into cos 2 pi fc plus fm1t, that is the upper sideband for the first message component, plus cos 2 pi fc minus fm1t, that is the lower sideband for the message component first, plus AC mu2 by 2 into cos 2 pi fc plus fm2t, that is the upper sideband for the second message component, plus cos 2 pi fc minus fm2t, that is the lower sideband for the second message component. Now spectrum for multitone EM, as you can see, the carrier is surrounded by first message component LSB and USB, that is fc minus fm1 and fc plus fm1. After this, the whole is surrounded by the second message components LSB and USB, that is fc minus fm2 and fc plus fm2. So the frequency spectrum of the multitone EM is from fc minus fm2 to fc plus fm2 centered at fc. Now bandwidth of the multitone EM can be again be calculated in the same way that as we have calculated for the single tone EM, that is subtracting the lowest positive frequency from the highest positive frequency, like fc plus fm2 minus of fc minus fm2, we get the final expression for the bandwidth of the multitone EM. Bandwidth is equals to twice of fm2. Now the transmitted power in a multitone EM signal can be calculated as we have transmitting the carrier upper sideband of both the message component 1 and 2 and the lower sideband of both the message component first and. So the total power is equal to PC plus PUSB1 plus PUSB2 plus PLSB1 and PLSB2. Now putting the values, we get this expression. After rearranging this equation, we get Pt is equals to AC square by 2R plus AC square mu1 square by 4R plus AC square mu2 square by 4R. Taking AC square by 2R common, we get AC square by 2R into 1 plus mu1 square plus mu2 square by 2. Now putting mu1 square plus mu2 square as mu2, we get the expression Pt is equals to AC square by 2R into 1 plus mu2 square by 2. Now this AC square by 2R is nothing but the carrier power PC. So putting AC square by 2R as PC, we get the final expression for the power for the multitone EM as Pt is equals to PC into 1 plus mu2 square by 2. Now expression for the efficiency of the multitone EM can be calculated in the same way as we have calculated for the single tone EM. So the expression for efficiency of the multitone EM is efficiency is equals to mu t square upon 2 plus mu t square. Now different cases for the variation of mu, up to how much extent the modulation will be varied and on which factor it will depend. So first, dependence on the minimum amplitude. Case first, when A minimum is greater than 0, then mu will be less than 1 and this becomes the case of undermodulation. Now we can see how mu will vary with the variation in the A minimum. So as you can see in this waveform that A max is equals to AC into 1 plus mu and A minimum is equals to AC 1 minus mu. So adding first and second equation, we get A max plus A minimum is equals to twice of AC. Then we get AC is equals to A max plus A min by 2. After subtracting the equation first and 2, we get A max minus A minimum is equals to twice of AC mu. Rearranging this, we get the value of mu as A max minus A minimum upon twice of AC. Putting the value of AC here, we get mu is equals to A max minus A minimum upon A max plus A minimum. Now case second, when A minimum is equals to 0, mu becomes equal to 1 and it becomes the case of critical modulation. In this, the value of A minimum becomes 0 as you can see in the figure. Case third, when A minimum becomes negative, mu becomes greater than 1, it becomes the case of overmodulation. Now second one, dependence on the DC value. Suppose MT is a sinusoidal having amplitude from plus 1 to minus 1 and Ka is equals to 1. Case first, when DC is equal to 2 volt, mu become less than 1 and it becomes the case of undermodulation. Case second, when DC is equals to 1 volt, mu becomes equals to 1 and it becomes the case of critical modulation. When DC is less than 1 is that 0.5 volt, mu becomes greater than 1 and it becomes the case of overmodulation. Now third, dependence on the amplitude sensitivity. In this, suppose MT is a message signal in the form of a sinusoid having amplitude from plus 1 to minus 1 at DC is equals to 1 volt. Case first, when K is equals to 0.1, mu becomes less than 1, it becomes the case of undermodulation. And when K is equals to 1, mu becomes equal to 1, it becomes the case of critical modulation. When K is equals to 2 is that greater than 1, mu becomes greater than 1 and it becomes the case of overmodulation. Now, generation of an AM. We can generate AM by using two methods, that is a square law modulator and a switching modulator. In this, we will discuss about square law modulator. In a square law modulator, we use a non-linear device like basic PN junction diode. As you can see here, an input Vi is applied to the non-linear device whose output is in the form like V naught is equals to AVI plus BVI square plus CVI cube plus DVI raised to the power 4 plus and so on. Now this is the block diagram of a square law modulator. First, the message and carrier is summed up by using summer. Now the sum V1 is applied to a non-linear device whose output V2 is applied to the band pass filter and at the end we get the modulated AM signal. The output of the non-linear device V2 is in the form like A1 V1 plus A2 V1 square where V1 is the sum we get as MT plus AC cos 2 pi FCT. Putting this value of V1 in V2, we get V2 is equals to A1 MT plus A1 AC cos 2 pi FCT plus A2 MT square plus A2 AC square cos square 2 pi FCT plus twice of A2 AC MT cos 2 pi FCT. Now rearranging this, we get final expression of the square law modulator as V2 is equals to A1 MT plus A1 AC cos 2 pi FCT plus A2 MT square plus A2 AC square by 2 plus A2 AC square by 2 cos 4 pi FCT plus twice of A2 AC MT cos 2 pi FCT. Now comparing this equation with the basic equation of AM, we will consider only the terms that provide the similar equation to this as the output of the band pass filter. Here second and sixth term will do the start. So output of band pass filter is SAMT equals to A1AC cos 2 pi FCT plus twice of A2ACMT cos 2 pi FCT. Taking A1AC common from it, we get the equation as A1AC cos 2 pi FCT into 1 plus twice of A2 upon A1 into MT. Now replacing A1 AC by AC dash and twice of A2 A upon A1 by Ka dash, we get the final expression as SAMT is equals to AC dash cos 2 pi FCT into 1 plus Ka dash MT. Now the spectrum of the output of the non-linear device is this, but the output of the band pass filter is only second and sixth component. Now demodulation of an EM. Demodulation of an EM can be done by using three techniques. First is square law demodulator, envelope detector, synchronous or coherent detector. Square law demodulator. In a square law demodulator, AM signal is applied to a non-linear device whose output V1 is applied to a low pass filter which provides the message signal at the end. The output of the nonlinear device V1 is in the form like V1 is equals to A1 SAMT plus A2 SAMT square. Putting the value of SAMT, which is nothing, the basic equation of AM, we get V1 as A1 AC cos 2 pi FCT plus A1 AC KAMT cos 2 pi FCT plus A2 AC square cos square 2 pi FCT plus A2 AC square K square MT square cos square 2 pi FCT plus twice of A2 AC square KMT cos square 2 pi FCT. Now from this equation, third, fourth and fifth term of this equation after simplification will come in the form like 1 plus cos 4 pi FCT by 2, as it becomes the formula of twice of cos square A. So after simplifying this, we get the output of the LPF as A2AC square K square MT square by 2 plus A2AC square K MT. The first term here is the noise and the second term is the message that we want. So here we calculate the SNR as 2 upon K MT. Now putting MT is equals to AM cos 2 pi FMT in this SNR equation, we get SNR as 2 upon Ka AM cos 2 pi FMT. This Kam will become mu, the modulation index. So replacing K into Am by mu, we get SNR is equals to 2 upon mu cos 2 pi FMT. Now we get minimum SNR as 2 upon mu. Now envelope detector. An envelope detector is an electronic circuit that takes a relatively high frequency AM signal as input and provides an output which is the envelope of the original signal. An envelope detector is sometimes called as a peak detector. This is the circuit of the envelope detector, which consists of RS resistor and a diode in series with a parallel combination of C and RL. So the input, so the AM signal is applied at its input. Here becomes the two cases: when a positive cycle is applied and when the negative supply is applied. So case first, when a positive supply is applied at the input, diode becomes forward biased and it becomes short circuited. So capacitor starts to charge up to the maximum value of input with the rate of tau is equals to Rs into C. Now second case, when a negative cycle is applied at the input, diode becomes reverse biased and becomes open circuited. So capacitor start to discharge with a time constant tau is equals to RL into C. Now this is the waveform of the charging and discharging of the capacitor. Output waveform of the envelope detector will look like this. After passing it through the smoothing filter, we get the smooth envelope of the message signal at the output like this. There is a condition for the proper detection is that 1 upon Fc should be very less than the RL into C, that is the discharging time constant, and it should be very less than F1 upon Fm. So RL into C should be less than or equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fm under root 1 plus mu square upon mu square. Now coherent detector. It is used for all modulation index. In the block diagram of coherent detector, AM signal and carrier is applied to the product modulator, whose product is applied to the low pass filter, which provide message signal at the end. Here becomes the two cases. Case 1, when CD is perfectly synchronized with the carrier that we have used during the generation of the AM signal. So CT is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT, taking the product modulator's output as V is equals to SAMT into CT, putting the value of SAMT, that is the basic equation of AM, into the carrier, we get the equation V is equals to AC square cos square 2 pi FCT, which is the carrier that is of no use for us, plus Ka AC square MT cos square 2 pi FCT. After simplifying this, we get the output of the LPF as Ka AC square by 2 into MT. Now case second, when the carrier we are using here is not perfectly synchronized with the carrier that we have used during the generation of the AM signal. Here the CT is having a phase shift of phi, so CT is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus phi, taking the product of the product modulator as V is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC KMT cos 2 pi FCT whole multiplied by AC cos 2 pi FCT plus phi. On simplifying this, we get V is equals to AC square cos 2 pi FCT into cos 2 pi FCT plus phi. It becomes the formula of twice of cos A cos B plus Ka AC square MT cos 2 pi FCT into cos 2 pi FCT plus phi. It again becomes the formula of twice of cos A cos B. On simplifying this, we get V is equals to AC square by 2 cos 4 pi FCT plus phi plus AC square by 2 cos phi plus KAAC square by 2 MT cos 4 pi FCT plus phi plus KAAC square by 2 into MT into cos phi. In this equation, the starting three terms is of no use for us. So these terms are rejected by the low pass filter, and the fourth term will be the output of the low pass filter as Ka AC square by 2 into MT cos phi. Okay, so that's all for today's session, and thanks for watching the video.